Y'all come on back. I think we through with technical difficulties. Okay. Return. Y'all come on back. Come on back. Y'all back in with us.
Jay said he was getting nervous.
You was getting nervous. I was getting nervous too, child. I promise I was. We gonna wait for our special guest to return. He have to log back in. Charlie, you back yet?
So she said Tom ain't on this conversation yet. They didn't want this conversation.
Baby, who is Tom? Is that the same person as Mark Zuckerberg?
Tom is the guy from MySpace.
Oh, bye. I mess with Tom. Somebody said they don't want our voice to be heard. Charlie, we back. You with us?
Yellow.
Okay, good.
Mine, the devil was trying to use them. So check this out. So I was moving into this statistic. It says the legacy of slavery affects the position of Black people in American society today a great deal. 84% agree. 84% of Black people agree. 58% of white people agree. So what that means is a little over half of white people feel like slavery still affects Black people and their progress and where they are today. And the majority of Black people that took this survey feel like that slavery still affects us. Now, I personally know that we are traumatized from the effects of slavery. I don't care how many generations have passed. There's learned behavior. And there are things that I don't want to say that we're born with, but there's things that are passed down to us.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a dual legacy. The first element of it is going to be the lingering racism and discrimination in America that began during slavery, and tactics that were planted into our mindset, such as the Willie Lynch letters. I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but pretty much Willie Lynch was he was a plantation owner, in a British plantation owner in the West Indies, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much he gave this speech of things, divisive tactics to break down the Black dynamic, like, make your men go against your women, young men against young boys, make them hate their skin tone, and use tactics of jealousy and things like that. And those type of things, they still linger today. We hate each other. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that, yeah. So that's the first element. The second part of it, I think, is the resilience. You can't break Black people. We're the type of people that we take, your leftover scraps and we turn it into a delicacy of collard greens. You look at your top Billboard 100, I guarantee the top 5 people you're going to see is going to be Black people. The top athletes, the inventors, the things that we built and contributed to this society is undeniable. So I think it's a dual legacy, but a little bit more of the first than the second one. What you think, Chuck?
We got a comment that says no wealth was passed down to us. Only trauma was passed down to us. Man. That's one of the statements I ever heard. Yeah. That was my best friend, Shamika Wine. Lil Wine.
Go, Shamika. You better say it.
That's real talk, though.
When I read the book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, so much stuff made sense when I read that book. Like, it was like, okay, and this is why this is happening. And I had a debate with my 13-year-old, Landon. For real, because, he's smart. He say what he want to say. And he was telling me that he don't think that certain things or aspects of trauma is passed down. I said, yes, it is. I said, it passed down. He like, nah. He said, because if you feel like you that traumatic, why do you have kids to pass it down to them? He said, why would you do that to your children? And I said, well, you're not aware of things that you have traumatic happen to you that you pass down to your kids until you have children sometime. Like, this is why I do this. This is why I'm moving, because you're not aware that it's trauma. You're not aware. You think it's normal. You think that this is just the way it is. You think it's normal to beat the hell out your kids because you get out of order. Or you think it's normal to be okay with not having men in your household. You know, you think it's okay with your mom working 3 jobs, you know, to make sure things get done because you feel like that's normal. You don't realize there's trauma. You don't realize that this is not it's a better way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you realize that until you have your own children and you want better for them. So me and him went back and forth because he read the book. And then went back and forth for about an hour. Like real talk. Like went back and forth.
Or you have some of us that realize they have been traumatized. They understand this trauma, but it's like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that? Right. Because as Black people, we're resilient, right? We keep it pushing and we move on. But the worst part about us keeping it pushing and moving on is that we never heal. No. We try to move past stuff. Because we got to keep going. We got to be tough.
Right. You got to keep it. And they don't want you to cry. I'm telling you, I was a baby, okay?
Yeah, you is.
I am a crybaby. And I always felt weak and bad for crying. You know, like for being, for crying. When you cry, they're like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you crying? Because your child's father in jail. Why you crying? Because you don't have the money. You know, so, but I'm okay with it now. Like, I don't cry. I cry for anybody. Like,
it's a release.
I'm okay with crying, but it's growing up, you know, being emotional as a Black girl, you can be emotional. You can't be sad. You can't be hurt because you know Black are strong. Woo! Black women are strong.
Y'all are.
So you can't be upset about it. You know why? Like
that hurts us so much because I absolutely don't like people to call me a strong Black woman.
I'm not a strong Black woman.
To me, it feels like you just cuss me out. I don't like to be called a strong Black woman. And I don't like Black men to feel like they have to be so strong that they can't be human.
Yeah.
Like, that's how our men to feel. I mean, I'm not a man. You probably could speak to that better than I can, but they don't our men to feel.
Right.
I think it's a lot of Black people that have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I can kind of approach it from a military perspective. I had the opportunity to serve. I went to Iraq for a year and came back, and you experience some things when you're overseas during the war environment. And I had the opportunity to kind of detox and sit down with a counselor and to kind of let some things go so that I can go back into the normal society and be a productive citizen and not be walking around all crazy. So if they're servicing our military people like that, I can only imagine what our Black people just deal with on a day-to-day basis. That's not getting that opportunity to heal, to unpack some of the things that they experience, and just get better. What you think, Chuck?
Yeah, that PTSD, man, that post-traumatic slavery disorder is a beast. 2 things. One, as Black folk, we don't believe in counseling, because once I go to counseling, you sound crazy. As soon as I say I got a counselor, now it's becoming more trendy now. But for me to say I've got a counselor, I've got issues, right? That's not something that we do. No different than women trying to be strong Black women. Men are trying to be masculine, right? Take it on the chin, take one for the team, get up, don't let them see you cry, don't let them see you sweat. All of these facades that people tell us about when we really just need a hug and a release. But also, I think we don't know about counseling. Whenever we go to counseling, for us, right? So I've been in church all my life, man. And so you'll find out that in church, we think the pastor is the only person that can counsel me. Pray about it. Let me give you 4 scriptures and send you back home. And I bless the Lord, because I believe in the word of God, right? And there is power in the word of God. But there are people, even in Jesus's circle, who did different things. He had 12 disciples. And if you go back and study the scripture, you'll find out each of them had their own role. In other words, in order for us to win, everybody got to play their role. And I'm going to come to you for this, and I'm going to come to that person for this, I'm going to come to that person for that. And I think we're going to take faster for everything, right? And I think we got to break that. Because there's so many facades that were told us. We were told that we need to be in the middle class. Tyler Perry depicts it right. It's the haves and the have-nots. Ain't no middle class. The middle class is a status. And if you want to find out who the president is going to affect, it's the middle class. The poor folk going to be poor no matter who in the White House. Rich folk going to be rich no matter who in the White House. But that middle class, you can switch You can switch lanes depending on who the president is. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about federal laws. We're talking about federal funding. We're talking about federal schooling. We're talking about reducing student loans. I got student loans. I'll put you on a different tax bracket. That'll take you to another place. Listen, if you don't, these facades that slavery put us in, and I'm fighting against light-skinned folk, and I'm fighting against dark-skinned folk, and I'm fighting against folk who educated, and folk who ain't from the hood, and folk who ain't got no black card, and folk who we need to take their black card from. That ain't my enemy. My enemy is knowing who I am and being strong enough to find out who I am, get the counseling I need, know that I ain't got to do this thing by myself, and then give me a group or a clique that'll roll with me, and we get a fight.
We roll, I got you, Chuck. Bro, we gonna roll, man.
But you know, I think one thing I do hate that people make it seem like our legacy started at slavery, and we so much more than that. We were, our ancestors went through slavery, but they wasn't slaves. You know what I'm talking about? Like they dealt with that, and it's like they so much more because they survived from that. Like they survived from that. Such a terrible. It's so terrible. It's like you can't even speak on it. That's how terrible it was.
But you know, everybody don't know it's that terrible.
I know.
Like, and I'm not trying to be funny, but Hollywood, you know, glamorized slavery, and you got a lot of black kids hate social studies, hate history. They don't want to hear about the past. Trust me, I work in schools. I'm a school counselor in schools. They don't want to hear about the past. They're not connected to it, so they really don't understand the effects of slavery. They don't understand how bad it was. It's just something they saw in a movie, and Hollywood glamorized it, right? So they have no connection to it. They really just think things are the way they are. They don't know slavery was bad, and who's teaching them, right? Because even now, we're trying to disconnect from it. You hear us saying, like, I don't want to hear about that. I'm tired of seeing movies about that. But you're not educating yourself. You ain't reading about it. You don't know what really went on. So, I mean, you can't disconnect yourself from that type of pain, because that will help you understand why you're in the position you're in right now, so you can heal from it and be better, because we were meant to be great.
I think right now, we're going through two movements. We're going through a prosperity movement, and we're going through a positivity movement. Like everything to be positive. Everything got to be light. You know, everything got to be good. Everything got to be good feeling. But you can't have light without dark. I embrace my shadow side. I'm okay with my bullshit. I understand my bullshit. I understand the bullshit that happened before me. Because if I don't understand that, I can't get out of it. I'm going to still be in shit if I don't understand what's going on around me. I think that, as you said before, your tribe is important. I'm very in key with my tribe. I hold it tight like I hold my money, because my tribe is my money. You like, they're just being real. I keep my people close. You see who close to me right here on this couch? It's Kobe. Okay.
There you go.
And I make sure that I keep that type, because when it comes down to it, it's all we got. You know, we got a lot of things, but we got who around us, because that determine your peace of mind. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, when it comes to counseling is trendy right now. Self-care is trendy right now. Therapy is trendy right now.
I'm kind of glad counseling is trendy, though. Me too. Because I think that with all this mental health talk, trendy or not, people are trying to figure out what it is and what it's about.
Yep.
And for the first time, people are starting to realize they have some real issues, and it's not just the way it is. Like, oh my gosh, I have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fear or this feeling that I've been feeling when I get around this, or when I'm exposed to this, this is anxiety. Like, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in a war zone. This is PTSD. I act like this because I grew up in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a loving environment, but my people taught me, and I'm not speaking on me, just in general, but my people taught me how to survive. They didn't necessarily teach me how to love.
And I think it's good to understand your triggers. Like, I had to understand why I react to certain things the way I do. Like, certain things, like, I was a single mother, right? And I know being called a single mother do trigger some women. It triggers some women. It triggers some women to say that, you know, you're not unmarried, those type of things. And that don't trigger me. But at one point it did. It did trigger me to a mother or two and not have a husband. And I got past it because I had to understand, like, why does this hurt my feelings? And so now I'm at another level of triggering where certain things trigger me, and I have to understand why they trigger me, why this is happening to me, why this making me feel hurt. And I think a lot of Black people, and I see it all the time on social media, they just lash out on something. It can be something, it can have nothing to do with them. You can make a general post and they go in so emotional because they don't realize it's triggering them. And they're taking that out on you when it had nothing to do with you. You just said a word or a phrase. And I think that that's a good thing with therapy, that people are understanding why they're triggered. Like, that's what the whole point of this show. Like, why does this hurt your feelings? You're right. Awareness is vital. Yeah. It is important to know why are you feeling a certain way about different things.
But the one thing that we miss from therapy is that, so we feel like, okay, well, I can just talk to somebody, I can just vent to somebody, because that's what counseling is, right? But the second counseling is, what is the plan?
Right. It's a solution.
It's supposed to be an improvement plan. So after we talk about our shit, we Black, right? We up in here, we talking about it. What we gonna do?
Yeah.
What is the plan? What is the plan for improvement? You know what I'm saying? What strategies are we going to do to improve? So when we decided that we're gonna do this podcast and we just gonna talk, because we do that anyway, right? But
when you say what is the plan, that brings about, to me, setting goals. And I think that's a huge thing that most people don't do. And I attribute a lot of, my accomplishments and success to setting goals, but not just setting goals, but setting SMART goals. It's actually an acronym that I learned from corporate America: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Don't just say I'm a save, I'm gonna save some money. I'm going to save $700 in 3 months. And I'm going to do it by selling this product, or, you know what I mean? Like, being specific and diving deep into what that goal is, I think it'll help us be a little bit more successful. Yeah.
And I think people need to know that those goals are attainable. I think sometimes we don't know those things. Like, they can't happen for me. They happen for, but they can happen for me, or they happen for Charlie. They can happen for me. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that those things can happen for you.
Stay in your lane. Look.
But you got the same foundation.
I want to ask y'all a question. I want to know what you think. Do you think that equal rights is possible, is attainable for Black people in America? Will there ever be equality for people of color in America?
I think as long as we don't have power, we can't have equality. Why would I give up my power so you can be even with me? Why would I give up my privilege so you can have my privilege? That doesn't make sense.
What you think, Charlie?
Like, no, the person who in power makes the decisions.
No. And we got a whole bunch of no's. Charlie, what you think?
I'm gonna let Chuck take it, because we kind of talked about that earlier.
I don't think.
What you think?
What you think?
Possible, right? I think race in itself. What's the purpose of race? Why would you even put race? Listen, okay, it's Blacks, then it's everybody else. Everybody who comes into the country, Caucasian or Asian or any other region, they come in, they're classified as whites. The only one that's delineated is the Black folk. Why would you create a race? It serves no purpose, right? Maybe it served the purpose years ago when you were talking about melanin in the skin or where they were from, but it serves no purpose now. We're intermingling with each other, right? We light skin, we dark skin, we got good hair, we got Indian in our family. So what's the purpose of race? The reason that race is here is so that there will never be equality. There will always be somebody who's building, and there's always going to be somebody's back on who is building. And Blacks have been decimated in America.
Right? Equality is a facade.
Equality.
I don't even treat I don't treat my kids equal. It's impossible. It's impossible to treat two different people equally.
Equality is a facade. Now, if we're talking about being equitable,
equity is
giving each party what they need to be successful, so that there's equal playing field, because you may need more than I need to be on the same playing field. You may need more than what I need, but equity and equality is different. And I agree with you that if there was ever going to be equality in America, race wouldn't exist because it was created to divide and classify. And we were always supposed to be second-class citizens. Well, but we weren't supposed to be citizens, first of all. We were always supposed to be second class. But I want to bring up something that Ethan said. So Ethan said, I think that we were better segregated. What y'all feel about that? Segregation versus integration. You gotta stop. What that mean?
Look, when our black kids, when our blacks are being educated by blacks and blacks alone, they have a vested interest, right? I was not only, it's no different than any other model, right? Before, when we doing colonies and things of that nature, look, you had a grocery store, your house, your church, your school, your post office, right? So those people lived in a community, which means I had to deal with that community. I had to deal with the fruits of the community. So I had a vested interest in the community, right? Whenever you get to a place where you start talking about trying to make sure that all of us are in a community together or trying to work together, when black folk take care of black folk and black folk know that whatever I have put into this child is going to benefit me or come back to harm me. When black folks, listen, when we go back and we look at the different places, man, where blacks were living in and on their own, man, look, they were progressing. When we had our own black banks, we had our own black cleaners, right? We always talk about, because we keep talking about equitable, but justice is it. Yeah. Because see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know whether we're going to ever be equitable or equal or have equality, but I do know about justice because I look at it.
What is justice?
So I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this injustice. Okay. Injustice is, just as it says, most of us think injustice is wrong, but I think of injustice as, that's injustice. Everybody's getting justice, just not us. And that's the injustice. Everybody gets justice, just not us. That's injustice. The end, that's injustice. And what we have to find out is, listen, why can't we allow blacks to just have a seat at the table? Look, I ain't asking for no handout. I'm just asking for a fair hand. And all I'm telling you is, look, if you let me stop playing in the Negro League and let me in the Major League, I'll make up the difference. If you let me stop just being on TV and own a TV station like BET, by Johnson, I'll make up the difference. Every time black folks are let in, we make up the difference. So when we talk about being fair and equitable and having justice, and talking about will we ever be able to get to a place where there's no division among the races, all we're saying is this: if you give us a seat at the table, see what we produce. Listen, there's an enemy who is beheading people, who is under different headings like Hezbollah and all of these things. Listen, they're coming to get us. We got a true enemy. And if we turn our head and start looking at us and blacks and whites, that's why biblically it's saying in a few more chapters, we ain't even in it. And the reason I believe is because we so busy fighting each other. So he gonna sneak right up. Y'all never seen Belly? That's how they got killed in Belly. They snuck off from behind.
What if I said this? Now I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this, right? But I don't want no seat at the table.
No, that's it.
Be in your own table.
I don't want to be let in. I want you out my way while I'm building my table and let me eat in peace.
So this my thing. I don't want to beg for a seat at the table. I told my VP on the call that I'm not gonna beg white people for your acceptance. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about me. Like, I'm not gonna beg for your acceptance. I'm not gonna beg for you to love me, to not kill me, to let me breathe. I can breathe. I got lungs.
All I need is for you out
just get out my way. That's what I
don't need anything from you. I don't need an ally. If you feel like that you're an ally, that's cool. I don't need you. I need you to not be in my way. You can hate me, just hate me over there, Adam. Because if you hate me so much, do not take up the same space as me.
I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you love me. I got the people who love me. I love me. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, like that I want to be at your table. I'm being at my own table. You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm building my own table. If you want to come and connect with my table, that's fine.
I don't know if that's fine. I don't trust you.
I mean,
history shows you might burn my table. That
is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I'm gonna give it to you from a visual perspective. You know, in terms of us taking care of our own, you know, the segregation, us blacks being over here taking care of each other. Cause like, look, if we're in an airplane and you know we at a certain level of elevation, when that mask drop down, you got to take care of yourself before you take care of the other person. That's just what it is. And to give it to you from a Marvel perspective, because I love comic books, Wakanda, Black Panther, right? So you had Wakanda, this beautiful Afro-futuristic country. They had all these beautiful resources, vibranium, and all those types of things, and they wanted to be closed off from the world because they knew if they were exposed to the world, you know, they could cause people to want to come raid and all those types of things. So they had conflict within their country, you know, but at the end of the day, is let's take care of each other first before we open up, you know, the gates and let other people take advantage of this vibranium.
I think that's a generational difference too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a generational difference. I'm a little bit older, right? I'm a little bit older. I'm too tired to be building tables. I built this table right here. I don't want no new table. I'm trying to build no new table.
I ain't mad about that.
I helped put a lot of energy in this table. This is a cold table. Give me a position at this table.
Because truthfully, you built the table, they sitting there.
Right.
I ain't got strength for 2 more legs. Right.
You know, so I get it. You know, we built the table that they're sitting at, but they can have that table. I want that table. I'm going to build me a new table. Don't come eat at my table because you might try to burn my table down. That's all I'm saying.
If you do want to come to my table, bring me an offering.
And you come to her table. I don't want that mind, period, because I don't trust your money.
Bring me the money. If you're going to come to my table, bring me some money. Bring me an offering to my table. Come to my altar with an offering. Come to my office.
They're going to slap you in the face with that money.
Eventually, they're going to have 2 tables. They're going to have their table and the table they bought in on.
Why don't people feel like they had a boss mindset that they can build their own table? There's a lot of people don't feel like they can. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like you can't stop me. I don't care who you can't stop me. I'm gonna run through a brick wall if I need to. But a lot of people don't have that in them. So why is it like somebody that like you queens or us this I can create my own table? Some people got that and a lot of people don't.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because we were raised to think that there is only one way to get ahead. I'm included. Because I was told, right, that I need to do what I'm supposed to do. I need to go to school. I need to make good grades. I need to go to college, and I need to get a good job, okay? Mm-hmm. People taught us how to follow a certain path, but they didn't teach us ownership. Think about when we went to school. Nobody taught us ownership. They taught us what we need to do to go and build someone else's dream, but make enough money where we can live and take care of our children and stuff like that. But ownership was hidden from us. And yes, it was our ancestors that taught us that, but it was somebody else that taught them that because since we've been in this country, well, you know, it's some natives. Yeah. You know, black people always been here or whatever. Right, but as far as enslaved people, we were always taught to work someone else's dream, someone else's plantation, someone else. Nobody taught us ownership.
But my dad had an auto body shop in Orange Mel's Auto Repair. He had
shout out.
Right on Lamar. That was his business. This is what he did. He had his own business. He always been an entrepreneur. My dad is a serial entrepreneur. He got a video business right now. He used to come to my school doing career day and talking about his businesses. And I used to be so annoyed when I was little because, you know, everybody else got the firefight. They got this. My dad, and I look back now, I was ignorant as hell. I was ignorant because my dad be his own auto body shop. He went to transmission school, learned some other stuff, and when he started his own thing.
Own transmission school.
Yeah, he went, you know, he started his own shop. Right in Orange Mountain, right there, Lamar in Pendleton.
Well, we were miseducated.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
When we know better, we got a responsibility to do better. But the problem is when we do better and sometimes we reach back to teach others better, they don't want to hear what we got to say because sometimes we don't listen to the people that look like us. For some reason, we think that the people that don't look like us have all the answers.
Yeah.
And they want to skip the process. I have so many people inbox me, ask me, how can I start a home health care like you? How can I start this business like you? What do I need to do? And it's a process. And people want to skip their process and go straight to, I need to be making, I'm ready to ball, okay? Yeah. I'm ready to quit the job. I'm ready to go to Dubai. I'm ready to go to Mexico, and I'm ready to post pictures.
We're afraid of hard work.
They don't want to go through the struggle.
It's about the journey.
They don't want to go through the process because everything is a process. People don't want to go through their process to get to the progress. They just want to get straight to the money. Yeah. And it doesn't work like that with entrepreneurship. It doesn't work like that when you want to be. And I'm telling you, I'm not a boss. I don't like that term for myself. I'm a resource because I'm going to make sure that the next person coming before me, after me, is going to be a resource as well. And I'm going to help you grow. I'm going to cultivate you. Yeah. So I believe that.
That's the testament, to, in my opinion, of a true leader. If you can pour into another individual, your successor, what is your successor going to look like? How are they going to be able to run the operations?
They're going to look better than me. They're going to skip the BS. They're going to be better than me. But these kids different, though. These kids, everybody want a business. This new generation, everybody, they do not want to sit in the cubicle. They want a straight. They ready to work for themselves. They don't want to go clock in. They initially trying to go be. It's a whole different mindset. They just want business. Landon told me he'll never sit in the cubicle for 8 to 5. He told me, he said, I'm gonna go to law school, but I'll never do that. I'll never sit at the cubicle for 8 to 5. He said, I won't do that. He said, how many hours a week you work? I said, about 50. He said, I won't ever work 50 hours a week.
Yeah, you might not.
Y'all, I'm gonna do this giveaway real quick. Okay, I'm gonna do this giveaway. So you know how we do. I'm gonna call your name, put it in my good trigger bucket. If you did what we asked you to do and enter the drawing. So B. Washington, Tiffany Jones, which is our last week's winner, Candace Elaine, Dara Patterson, Shanika Smith, Danielle Berry Leach, Amy Fisher, Jada Antoinette, Nastasia Thomas, and Shamika Wine. I guess y'all ain't want to win no coffee drink. Y'all don't like the baby, when we had that weave on deck, y'all over here. Bundles.
We gotta support our black business. Every week we gotta get something from them and give it away.
Right. So we just not getting on here talking.
Yeah.
A part of our plan is to support our people. So we make sure we buy products and we give them away to you because we want you to continue to buy
and
from
get them exposure.
That's awesome.
Dara Patterson, you gotta be in the live.
You gotta comment. Let us know you're here.
I hope it's not a delay like last time. So I'm gonna watch these comments, Dara Patterson. And let me know if you here. I know we left and then we came back and you might then come back with us. And so y'all know how we do in the audience when y'all ready for me to move on. Say next and I'll pull another name. Dara going once. Dara going twice.
Gone.
Dara in this thing, huh? All right, Dara. No coffee for you.
It's a good gift card. I think it's $25, and we got a little
Show them the cup.
Yeah, we got the gift card from Muggin, black-owned coffee shop.
Shanika Smith. Are you in the live, Shanika?
She's here. I just seen her come in.
Shanika, I saw you come in too. Where you at, friend?
Them next, they be ready to move on.
I saw Andrew say next. She ready to get that pride.
You know, what she was coming,
Shamika.
off the stage. You want to say it, man?
Shanika.
There she go.
There she go. Okay. All right. So we want you to go try Muggin. So they told me that it's like Starbucks, but it's better and it's black. Go get you a frappe. Got you a cute little cup. Okay. So you know, we got the giveaway out the way, but we had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna keep this thing going. If y'all want to keep this thing going. It's all about what y'all want to do. Y'all
Congrats.
Let me know. Look at Danielle said she here. Danielle, you didn't even enter in the drama.
You didn't even enter the contest, Danielle.
Stop playing.
I'm here. Your name went in the bucket.
That's all right. Anybody that did not get chosen, know that we will have awesome gifts every week. And being that you guys are our regulars, y'all are pistols. You hear me? Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, the pistols.
The pistols. Come on. Y'all triggered. Come on. So, y'all pistols, y'all in the house every week. That means you've already followed. All you have to do is share the page and write done. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Somebody did a thumbs down. Participate next time.
Is Charlie stuck?
Did we freeze up?
Can y'all see us?
Hello? If y'all can see me, what I'm doing.
Charlie dropped off.
Charlie gone, so y'all can see us, so y'all saw me do this.
Okay.
I thought we were frozen. Jason said we the pistols. Yes.
Yes, the pistols.
Bang, bang. Look at the little guns. I hate those little green guns.
The water guns. I don't like them.
I swear to God, I do. But on the real, here we got our guest.
See how hot it get as we go?
That's the wine.
Yeah. Like, oh, we hot. It was freezing at first. Okay, Charlie, we got you.
We good. That's that Kaya reception. That's the rich reception.
She said we need.
Yeah. We do need shirts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got one. Do this.
Down. Check it down.
Is it down? Go down for me. Oh no, up. It was one I missed. Okay. So this the last one, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So it's a statistic that says our country hasn't gone far enough giving black. Listen to the words. Our country hasn't gone far enough giving blacks equal rights with whites. 78% of black people agree. 37% of white people agree, meaning that the majority of white people think that the country has done enough for black people and equal rights. How y'all feel about that? The country has done enough.
What they can't hear you.
Yeah, they. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear us? You can't hear us. They can't hear us. No. Is it back? It's there.
Yeah, it's going. Do you take the headphones? You tell them to take headphones.
What about now, y'all? I hear you. Who is you? Is you us or you them? Yeah. You hear the girls?
Yeah, the girls. Pink or blue? Who you hear?
We gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah. We having too many technical difficulties. You got any final words, Kay?
I just want black people to stop begging white people stop killing y'all. Can y'all stop doing it? Can y'all stop asking people? Can y'all stop saying let me breathe? You have lungs. You can breathe. Quit saying it. Like, it really hurt my feelings that y'all begging people to hear y'all. Like I can hear y'all. Like I begging people let you breathe. Like I can breathe. I
Don't beg America
don't
for shit.
Don't
Whatever
do
you want,
take it.
come on. I was gonna say that. We finishing each other's sentences like soulmates. Whatever you want, take it.
Take it.
Do it.
Do it.
Don't beg anybody for a thing.
No.
Don't put your trust in politicians.
Nope.
Everything that you need,
God gave you already.
You already possess it.
God gave you everything you need.
You already possess it.
Don't be begging nobody for shit. That is my pet peeve.
The one thing,
right there.
Well, two things that Black people can do. Educate yourselves, and I ain't just talking about a diploma and degrees. I got a diploma and I got a couple of degrees, but that ain't where the bulk of my education comes from, okay? Educate yourselves. What was my other point? I think I might be tipsy.
The other point is that make sure that whatever decisions you make, that you can be happy with them. I think a lot of Black people do make just reactionary. We just a reactionary people.
Ooh, I knew what I was about to say. Educate yourselves and heal.
Yes.
You have to heal. We are traumatized. We are a hurt people, and we hurt each other.
Yeah.
And the only way y'all be begging is stop killing each other, stop killing. Well, for one thing, killing is human nature. Right. So y'all gonna quit acting like only Black people kill. Humans are animals. We may be high functioning, intelligent animals, but we're animals. Right. So killing is human nature. But I do think that we do too much damage to one another for us to be high functioning, intelligent animals. So we have to heal. Once we heal that hurt within us, we will stop hurting each other. Heal and educate yourselves, and can't nobody whoop you, and can't nobody beat you, and people will not continue to kill you and destroy you.
No.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's that on that. What the children say, and that's on period.
That's a done data. That's my favorite word.
And that's finished.
Yep. That's it. That's dead on that.
And boom, we got action.